Hey everyone, Brendan Sander here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to Top 5 Glam Metal Albums of 1986. So what a year for music. The 80s sound was in full swing. Glam metal was a big thing by this point. So many great albums released. We have genre defining, career reinventing, catalog enhancing, reputation securing. Some of them did run under the radar though, but all in all, we had so many good albums that came out. So, what are the top 5 glam metal albums of 1986? Well, we'll get into that here in just a bit, but if you are new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also, leave a comment, hit like. All those things do help support my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by turning on notifications, you'll never miss an episode and stay up to date on really cool things like this with the top 5 glam metal albums of 1986. So I have already done a top 5 rock albums of 86, a top 5 metal albums of 86, but so many great glam metal albums, I decided we needed to just focus on glam metal, and that's what we are going to do here for this. So coming in at number 5, Tesla, Mechanical Resonance, 1986, obviously, debut studio album from the band. So while rooted in the 1970s, this album here is probably the most metallic of all of their albums, containing the monumental hit, Modern Day Cowboy. That song, though, I think sounds as fresh today as it did when it came out in 1986 when I first heard it on the radio. One of the reasons that I think the band Tesla is still able to be the draw that they are today and have the longevity of their career that they are currently having. The album itself displays a variety of different styles on it though, showing just what the band is fully capable of. We got songs like Changes, Little Susie, which was a surprising cover. I didn't even know that was a cover for a very long time. The song Getting Better, that song has a melodic acoustic sort of intro to it, and then it kicks in with a 1970s hard rock sound to it. And it was just something that a lot of bands back then weren't doing, but integrating the multiple different pieces of music into one song was one of the signature things for Tesla. And I think that is sorely missed on the later day albums by the band. But it is one of those things that made them who they are and why I think they still stand out today in terms of great classic albums like this one from 1986. All right, coming in at number 4, Ratt, Dancing Undercover, third studio album. This is my favorite of the 1980s era of Ratt, opening with one of their best songs, simply called Dance. It's a powerful opening song on here that just builds until it kicks in, making for a huge feel across the song, and really what defines the album throughout. It's just big, it's urgent, it captures an era perfectly with the way that that sound is on that song. But each of the songs that come after that are simply great songs too. Like One Good Lover on here is a great down and dirty hard rock song, a really great one from Ratt. Basically, Ratt always could have just released anything, and I think it would have worked for them. Case in point, the deep cut that's on here called Looking for Love. That one's another sleazy rocker of a song that would have worked perfectly as a single, though they chose other ones like Slip of the Lip, Body Talk. Those all very powerful songs coming from this album, but not a bad song on here. I think all the albums we're going to talk about today are ones like that, that there's just not a bad song on the album. It's one of the reasons that makes these albums as distinctive and as strong, moving from one song to the next on it. And it's a very interesting listen for this great album throughout, which is why, again, it's one of my top 86 albums. All right, coming in at number 3, Cinderella, Night Songs, debut studio album, one of the strongest releases from a band as their first album. This great one here. Opening with the title track on here, it's just amazing pulls you right in on it. And with an album cover like this that totally screamed glam metal, I don't think it really set up what people were to expect, that bluesy hard rock sound that was going to be screaming through your speakers as soon as you heard it. And the title track, Night Songs, which opens the album, just giving it that brooding, slinky, slow, heavy sound, was not what I was expecting, at least on here. But then we've got the three big mega hits that come off of this. Shake Me, which just rocks all the way through. Nobody's Fool, a killer, dark, amazing ballad song that it is. And Somebody Save Me, the song that is just a big, bombastic, over-the-top song like nobody else can do except Cinderella. And other songs on here were really, really strong ones as well. We got the killer Push Push. We've also got a deep cut, one of my all-time, maybe even my absolute favorite Cinderella song, Nothing for Nothing. I've heard that one done live, and it goes down as well live as any of their big hits are. Case in point, another one that a band could have done, and it would have been just as successful. These early albums by a lot of these great glam metal bands, they really could have released anything, and I think it would have been, just the same for them. But the whole album from start to finish on this, it's super strong all the way through, basically building on strength to strength to strength. Every time we get another track on here, they're simply not a bad one. All right, coming in at number 2, we've got Poison. Look what the Cat dragged in their debut studio album, another super strong album out of the gate for a band. This one here being a bit more raw than the later day era Poison albums, but the youthful energy that is on this thing cannot be denied. It's an album of pure party rock from start to finish. The whole thing is just hopping and bopping the way that you would want it all the way through, and it just builds and builds, going from strength to strength as well. And although their next albums with the other singles that would be coming out would reach even bigger strengths than what these are, they still have a lot of big hits and songs that define their career that they are still playing live in concert today. Cry Tough, I Want Action. The title track, Look What the Cat Dragged In, which was not even released as a single, is still in their set and just goes down an absolute storm every time it is played. But of course, you've got the all-time, probably the best Poison song ever released, Talk Dirty to Me. It's also maybe the greatest glam metal song ever as well. Surprisingly, though, the ballad, which was a video and single at the time, I Won't Forget You, has not held up and or not been remembered as well as those other songs that I mentioned. But I sort of put that at the fault of the band because they don't play that live. I think if they continued to play that one live the way they play other ballads from the future albums that the band would put out, it would be right up there because it's just as good as the other ballads that the band is known for. This album, if you wanted party rock in 1986, this was the go-to album. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, thank you Poison for such a great album. All right, but what is the number 1 glam metal album of 1986? Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, their third studio album. It's where everything finally came together for the band. It's where the sound, the lyrics, the style, the image, everything lines up on this album here. From the opening track on this with the pipe organ of Let It Rock, this album does just that. It rocks hard all the way through. It's got career-defining songs in You Give Love a Bad Name, Living on a Prayer, and Wanted Dead or Alive. You could not think of Bon Jovi without thinking of those songs, all coming off of this album. But much like the Poison song, I Won't Forget You, Bon Jovi has one of those off of this album, Never Say Goodbye. That one here should be as big as all the other Bon Jovi ballads, but the band simply doesn't play it and promote it the way that they do other ones, though I think it would be as big. It is a great song. I absolutely loved it at the time, and I still love that song to this day. But we got other great deep cuts that are on this album. Wild in the Streets, whenever they play that song live, it goes down a burner. It's one of those ones that is a sing-along power fest, and just like every other Bon Jovi song, it sticks in your mind. It is very, very catchy. But that's what we got across the board on this album. We've got so many songs that stick to your brain, that are those catchy sing-along style songs, and for me at least, that's what makes this one here the best glam metal album of 1986. So there you go, the top 5 glam metal albums of 1986, though I'm sure there are different ones out there that you guys love. So weigh in, let me know, what is your number 1 glam metal album of 1986? All right, everyone, take care, have a good one, and I'll be talking to you real soon. Bye-bye.